Hey guys, welcome back to the Snap Ring Chronicles. Today we're coming back at you with another, couple of ratchet videos. There's a couple of ratchets here. I found this set at a supermarket. It's Lidl, but they do have a small tool section, and every once in a while they have something interesting in there. And I went today and I found this ratchet set. This is the Parkside, Lidl Parkside. Parkside is their own brand of tools. They don't make any tools, I don't think. It's all, they just label it Parkside, and they're made by, I would say, Asian mostly, or if not entirely, manufacturers. But here are a couple of extendable ratchets that I found. And I gotta say that this is probably the worst carding of a product. They put these ratchets on this little card with these little zip ties holding the ratchets. And as you can see, that doesn't work very well. And this was probably the only one I saw that was intact, that had both ratchets on the card, and the other ones were just floating in the bin. They you had the 3/8 and the 1/4 just floating in the bin. Cards were just floating in the bin. So not a good attempt there at making at carding one of these. I don't even know why they do that, because if it's floating in the bin, nobody's gonna buy it, or nobody knows what's, a lot of people who don't know much about tools, they just, I don't know what they're gonna think, or what comes in here, the big one and the small one, or whatever. I don't know. It's a mess, and it's their own fault for that. But here is extendable ratchets and some Spanish. And here they give you some stats on the different ratchets. This is the 1/4 inch, that's the 3/8, and this ratchet with 3/8 drive and quick release, 5 lengths. One ratchet with 1/4 drive and quick release, 4 lengths. So the bigger one, 3/8, has 5 different segments of its extension, and the 1/4 inch has 4 different sections for its extension. It says retain packaging for future reference. I guess I gotta hold on to this now. And where is it made? Of course, this is made in China. And there's the UPC symbol, in case anybody is interested. Okay. This one I took the plate off already just to save some time. This is the extensions as the first one. Well, this is the first one, and that's the second one, and third, and fourth. And do you really need an extendable or a 1/4 inch that's this long? I don't know. Somebody might use these, but I just think that's a bit too much torque for a 1/4 inch, but I'm not a pro, so go figure. It says SK on the ring, but don't confuse this with with the actual SK, because it's definitely not. And they have these big handles. This one's even bigger. And here's some writing. Here tells you it's made in China. They actually engraved it. And they have the Parkside on the other side. And I don't know if I mentioned it, but to get to the positions, to switch positions, you pull down this collet, and that's how you go up and down on the extension. And let me open up this one, because this is the one that's I guess I'm going to show more of. This is the 3/8, and you're going to need a number 8 Torx, and the screws are pretty thin for a 3/8. Usually you see a little bit thicker screws for these, for a ratchet of this sort. And there is a little bit of Loctite on the screws. And then there's a third screw here for the switch. And that also, you're going to need to take this one out to get the plate off. And that one also has a little bit of a Loctite, but again, very small. Oops. Very small screws. Okay, here is the plate. I guess about average thickness for this sort of a ratchet. One thing I did notice is that it looks like they punched when they did the hole for the switch screw. They punched it on this side and then just left the slag or whatever, the leftover of the punch, they just left it there and didn't really clean that up. So there's a little bit of a round little lip there. And here is the ratchet. These ratchets, I think I counted 72 teeth on this. It has a little ring here around the gear, and the 1/4 inch had a ring also, and these are the screws for the 1/4 inch, and these are pretty tiny also. And that one had the small screw for the switch. And something caught my eye right off the bat. It's the pawls. One pawl says L, which is left, I guess, and the other one says LRE Tools. I wonder what that is. LRE Tools. Is that the company that made these? Probably. You guys who know more about Asian tool manufacturers, you can chime in the comments. And here is the gear. You can see 72 teeth. They don't look too bad. This is also quick release. And the gear is pretty wide. The teeth are pretty wide. I mean, the whole gear. So, and the teeth themselves are pretty, the paws themselves. Where's my pick? You see the teeth, the paws are pretty wide. They, see how they go? See how wide they are there? So, I don't know, it's kind of hit or miss on some of these ratchets. Some of them I'll open up and they'll have a wide paw like that. Other ones, not so wide. So this one's pretty wide. I guess it makes sense because you're going to extend this and maybe you're going to put a good amount of torque on this, and you don't want, I guess, a thin paw or a thin gear. You're going to want a paw and a gear with a bit more meat on it, like this one. And there's the switch. It comes out it's made of metal. I don't want to take it out because then the springs are going to come out and I don't want to make a mess. But you guys who have seen the channel before for a while, you'll know how to put these together and take them apart. You got the two springs on either side. This is an old design. That's still pretty popular today, especially with these Asian made ratchets. And the broaching inside looks pretty decent. Doesn't look bad. Looks pretty clean in there. Did come with a little bit of oil, light, kind of a light oil, not like grease. I'm not going to take the handle apart. If you want to see a video where I do that, go to my playlist and go to Lidl. I think I have a video of a 1/2-inch one I did last year of this type, and it'll show you how to take that apart. First step, I'll share with you here real quick. If you take it apart, you see this ring here. When you pull down the collet, that little retention ring, that needs to come out, and then everything usually comes out after that. So yeah, that's a look inside of this one and a quick look inside of this one. This one doesn't have the LRE or whatever tools on it. It just says, this one says left, this one says LY on it. And this one too, the paws, they're like 5 teeth on the paws. I think both of them have like 5 teeth on each paw. This one's, again, pretty decent wideness for a 1/4-inch ratchet. And I don't want to take these, like I said, the switches out because the springs, especially on this one, was pretty hard to get back in when I did take it out originally to check it out. So there's that. And oh, one thing about this, the 1/4-inch one, the same thing with this, they punched it out, they left like the slag behind there on this side of the plate. But this one, I don't think they did a good job at the ball position and peening. It holds a socket, but not the best, not very well. It'll hold it, but it's not secure, you know, what you would expect from a quick release. So I'm kind of on the fence if I want to take these back, but I didn't really see any other set that were just floating in there. I didn't see a full carded set, but I don't know. If I go back and I see they have more, I might, maybe I'll exchange it. Because you see the ball doesn't really, it doesn't really pop out too far, and it looks like they made the hole in the wrong position. So I don't know. Like I said, it'll hold a socket, but not that great. Okay, both of these was $15. At Lidl, if you're interested in these, and the handle on this is really big. If you like big handles, I can see this coming in handy if you're going to extend this really far and you really want to crank down on something, put a lot of torque on it. Okay, that works. And I kind of like the big handle, to tell you the truth, just for that reason, that it's a good grip. If you're inclined right now, you can go get this at Harbor Freight, which has both drives on one ratchet. This one's a little bit different than that one. This one is, I think this is about 1 inch longer when you extend it than this one. this beam here on this one is thicker though, and this one's a chrome polish. This one's kind of a satin, but this one's a little bit longer, but this one's a little bit thicker here. And the handles, of course, this one's a lot thinner. But if you go now, you can get these. I saw they're having a instant savings. These were usually $15, and I think it's $12 right now. They're having a sale. So if you rather get something with 2 drives on it, you can pick this up. Or if you find this at Lidl, like I said, Lidl's always hit and miss. They'll have some tools for a week or 2, and then they'll disappear and you won't see them again. Another thing with Lidl is an ambiguous warranty. You might get these and have like 90 days with your receipt, like anything else at Lidl. But after the 90 days, it's very ambiguous. As you can see on the card, they have no mention, or did I miss it? There is no mention of a warranty on these. And you know this, Pittsburgh, you can walk into Harbor Freight, and most times you can exchange this and they'll give you no problem. So whatever works for you. All right, guys, until next time.